hate puppies.
Eat a bag of dicks. Good podcast.
I feel threatened.
There's nothing to see here.
That's awesome.
No one knows what that one is, and I love it.
There is nothing to see here.
There's nothing to see here. It's quite literally a podcast.
Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the audio show that we call Inside the Pallet House. There is nothing to see here. Which
Just
I guess
here.
a lot of people
Here.
have been upset by that. They do want us to have some kind of a video component.
Yeah, we should go Facebook Live or something.
What's that?
Good call.
Yeah.
Good call. That's our social media guy, Ely. And
Yeah. Killing it.
It is a highly unfortunate response
Internet.
to that.
I was late that day, class.
It happens. You're all good, man.
Yeah.
We're just glad to
Is
have
that once
here.
you get the modem fired up?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
go to the live?
You still have a stack of those CDs, right?
Yeah.
So we're good.
right.
We're unlimited at
We
this
got
point.
so much AOL time. Anyone under 30 has no idea what the heck that even means.
No.
The AOL CD.
Their dad's probably made that joke before, so they probably heard it.
Nice one, Dad.
Yeah, real cool, Dad.
Yeah.
Real cool. Dude, I had an interesting week. It's taken me 5 weeks, maybe 6 weeks to have an interesting week. I finally have the Miata back.
Oh, yeah. I saw it under the cover.
I have missed at least a month of
Did they
Miata.
Tow it here?
I've had it. I get
Well, I
it.
saw it under the cover. I just thought it had the boxes stacked up like
Right,
the Miata.
right. Yeah.
So,
it looks
is it
like
really under there?
There really is.
Oh,
the
okay.
Miata is back. It has been
Did you get a super soaker?
supercharger.
No, a super squirter.
No, I did not get the Mega Squirt.
Oh,
no,
mega
that's.
squirt. Same thing.
I was like, what the hell is he talking about? Yeah, how lame would I look cruising in the Miata with my Super Soaker hanging out the window?
Kind of awesome.
I mean, it doesn't get any
It is
worse.
a Miata, though.
Man, for those that don't know, it's been something I haven't brought up much on the air because it's been a devastating ride for the last, at least the last month. I just drove it home one day and it just never started again.
Nice.
And I couldn't figure it out. And I've had
I thought it left you on the side of the road.
not the first time.
Oh, okay.
The first time I got home, it was all good.
Yeah, but then you got to run again, right?
Kind of. I did. So for a month, I was under the hood tinkering with everything. And unfortunately, I don't have any way to like check the computer to see what code it's throwing to say this is the problem. So I did what any red-blooded American does without a computer. You just start replacing things that you understand.
For sure.
Yeah.
So I was like,
That wire looks like it doesn't belong.
Yep.
that one looks a little corroded. I'm
Yeah.
gonna get in there. So,
You're
it was
like you're convinced it's going to fire up. You're
I
like, this was the
absolutely
one.
was.
Yeah.
I went through and I pulled the spark plugs and I was like, they do look a little old based
Yeah.
on my knowledge. And fortunately, I actually had old spark plugs that just happened to fit like in the
Yeah.
back. And I was like, oh, sweet. So I changed those. I was like, here we go. Nothing. I was like, okay, that sucks. And then it was like, all the wires need to be replaced. So then got into that. And I was like, okay, that wasn't it. I was like, all right, I'll change some electrical components. And like, I pulled the main fuse. Here's a little something if you ever happen to own an old Miata. The main fuse is bolted into the remainder of the fuse box. So if you just beast it out, you ruin your entire fuse box and rip the main
Oh,
fuse
cool.
Oh,
out.
nice.
And
That's
the bracket
convenient.
that holds it in.
Yeah.
So I got to then replace.
No one's going to own a Miata.
Yeah, good point.
Summer of Tom bought a Miata.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I'd like to think that.
It went from a smart car to a
Fits in.
Miata.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely moving up. I'll give you guys that.
Can't wait to meet his life partner.
Yeah.
He sounds nice.
He's standing next to you.
You're standing next to him.
Troy knows.
Yes. I think the listeners know. I think
That's right.
I think we all know the
Yeah.
two Miata guys
Uh-huh.
are meant to be together.
I don't get it.
You wouldn't. You'd probably give it.
Ow.
This is going
We're off to a strong start. But so I have been replacing boatloads of parts on that damn thing, just trying to get it right. And I couldn't figure it
Find
out.
that one magical part that was wrong.
Eventually.
Finally, I admitted it to Ely. I was like, "Hey, Ely Motors, would you mind coming over a little early and taking a look at this Miata?" And got him,
Which
under
is
there.
about half aftermarket shit at this point, right? Like,
Yeah.
so you really got to know your stuff to like be able to get under the hood and start fiddle farting with it.
Well,
You
that's
want to hear what I did? I showed up, lifted the hood, looked at it, was like, yep, it sucks. I let it go.
I've definitely seen you do more thorough work on other vehicles. That's for sure.
Well, when you open up the hood and nothing looks like it belongs under there, it's kind of hard to like trace the back and figure it out.
It
I
does.
did think we had it, thought we had it, though, when we found that computer plug.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's the one.
Yeah, and that's so for people who know about cars, this thing has some new upgraded fuel management system. So it's another computer that plugs into the computer to trick the other computer so it runs a supercharger.
Extra computers.
That
Exactly,
always fixes the problem.
exactly what
Yeah.
I need.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Considering the only thing I understand is mechanical.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that should be turning that. That's a problem.
Right.
That belt's hanging off. There's the problem. I can't do anything once we get past that and get into the computer. So I gave it my all. Ely went through it. He was like, he just basically confirmed, yep, no spark, no fuel. I was like, all right, I knew that. So I finally gave up.
Paid him his $119.99.
Yeah.
That's exactly
His
right.
job's his credit.
Yeah.
So I finally got the thing towed to the shop, and I get it there, and I get a call the next day, and they're like, so we went out to start it, and it just started. I was like,
That's
I
hilarious.
was like, no, it did not. Please, God, don't tell me it just started, because I've been working on it for a month, and nothing works. And they're like, no, I mean, it's running. It's actually running right now outside of the shop. So you can come get it. And I'm like, guys, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't do anything. And they're like, we're not going to charge you. And I'm like, yeah, you're damn right you're not going to charge me.
Yeah.
Like, I get that. And they were like, it was throwing a code.
It's so frustrating when something happens like that.
Oh, it was. So I went and picked it up, and I was like, okay, you know what? I took my brother-in-law. I was like, let's go down here. My wife had left like a bag out at a brewery.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is a perfect excuse to go cruise down the road. I got about a mile from the house, and I was showing him how fast it goes, and then I was showing him how slow it goes, because it just died, and now it was making a totally new sound. Like,
So this is after you picked it up from the place?
yeah, after they told me nothing was wrong with it, and I was like, but
I thought you were going to tell them to keep it and figure it out, but I guess they couldn't figure it out because it was running?
They said, look, it threw a code like one time that said something called the crankshaft position sensor wasn't working, and that replaces my like distributor cap, which distributor caps I get. Something turns around.
They're gone.
I shine
Yeah.
a light in there. Yeah, that was the end of my expertise on timing. So I was like, all right, then I guess it's fine. And they were like, yeah, we don't want to just buy that sensor because it's like a $500 part. We don't want to just throw it in there. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Drove it down the road. Wham! Thing dies on the side of the road. I shattered, like I tore the timing belt, just snapped it going down the road.
Oh, really?
Whoa.
Yeah, at full bore, like just gunning it, and just boom. And then I'm throwing it in gear, trying to get it to go, which is forcing the engine to continue turning. No spark. I was like, oh, God, what have I done? So got it towed back there. They had it for like a week, like going through it, and they're like, sometimes it starts, sometimes it doesn't. We know the timing belt's busted, so they replaced the timing belt, but then they're like, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Finally, I got the mechanic on the phone and was like, there's this little computer that plugs into another computer. He's like, is that thing behind the rear, the passenger seat? I'm like, yeah, man, if you can get in there and check that out. The guy basically said, man, whoever like installed this just like jammed the wires in, like didn't actually like crimp them or do anything.
Yeah.
Like they just completely half-assed it. So I'm guessing that this is your problem. So then they pulled the $500 sensor out of the car that they had put in there, put my old one back in. So I thought that was a pretty stand-up move.
That was pretty nice.
Re-crimped everything, got it running. They were like, we're pretty sure that was your problem, but since we don't do that, wink, wink, we're not going to charge you for that because that's not it. Like, there's no warranty on that, you know? And I was like, fair enough. You're saying it's running?
So they hit you for labor.
Well, I still had to pay for the timing belt. I'm $1,000 into the freaking Miata
What?
the past
Wow.
week because, you know, water pump, new gaskets. And, you know, you're going to have the water pump done when you're in there.
Yeah.
You would do the same, right?
For sure.
Okay, so that was my logic. I was like, no, you're there. The labor's going to be like $20 a labor. Do that.
Damn, that stinks.
Yeah, I'm $1,000 into a car that didn't cost much more than that. But it's running. It's back.
Gosh.
And I haven't had a chance to drive it really since
a
I got
timing
Because it's
belt,
been
though.
raining.
timing belt, and it's a non-interference engine for those that know. So
Yeah.
the engine itself was okay, and then they just changed some gaskets. They were like, there was definitely some like oil around there, but it's coming through these gaskets. We think that's part of your problem. It's running better than it has in a long time. So if anyone wants a ride for the next week, it's probably the car for it. And
Or
then
when
it'll-
it stops raining.
So that's crazy.
after all of that, just bad electrical connections, and then the timing. And I was like, so the timing belt have anything to do with it? They're like, no, that was just really bad luck. That
Really?
just they don't think it had anything to do with anything.
So it had been changed.
Maybe not.
I don't
it wasn't
know.
super old.
No, this was I don't know, but I assume it was the original timing belt.
Oh, wow.
The car only has 100,000 miles on it,
Oh, okay. Then, yeah.
so it's probably the original.
Yeah.
But I guess Mazda says every 80,000 miles you should change that. So it was due,
Right.
technically. Plus, when you're running forced induction and
I hadn't talked to you. That's crazy that they pulled it back out and they fixed the crimps on the wires and it fixed it.
And now it's running. And then put the old sensor back in, save me $500. I
Wow.
certainly respect that move.
See, that's crazy
Yeah.
because they're not going to be able to return that part.
You wouldn't think.
Yeah, what happens with that? I'd always wondered about
Yeah,
that.
they can't. Or they have to pay either pay a restocking fee or they can't. You generally can't return parts like that. Oh, hey, we had this installed in this car.
Yeah, and then we took it out.
Greasy ass fingerprints
We're
and
good now.
screws all turned on and shit. You know what I
There's
mean?
all the grease.
I feel threatened.
Yeah, you
Of course.
shipped it to us like
That was an accident. I literally was walking over there, my cord hit the soundboard. Thanks, cord.
That's interesting though. That's cool that they did that.
Yeah, there's stand-up guys over there. I've been using them forever, but like every time I called him, you could just tell like the mechanic didn't want to talk to me,
Yeah.
because he's like,
confusion.
yeah, because he doesn't know. So the guy at the front desk is like, we think it might be out of gas because it was running earlier. We'll try again. And then like, no call back. Finally, I got the dude on the phone. He's like, I got to be honest, man. I went home last night. I was on Miata forums all night trying to figure this out. He's like, nothing adds up.
Yeah.
Then I finally was able to give him the history of everything, and he's like, let me
Like
get
that's
back
when
in.
that's when you told him about the electrical thing?
Yeah, because they wouldn't let me. I was not communicating with the mechanic.
Yeah.
I guess if he wouldn't look for it, you wouldn't think to look behind the
But is that the
passenger
conversation
seat.
when you told him to look at it?
Yeah, and then
Oh.
24 hours later, I got a perfectly running car.
Oh, okay.
Did you bill him for that knowledge?
That's right.
No, I just gave him a big compliment and didn't realize he was the guy standing at the front desk, like just
Yeah,
over here.
yeah, yeah.
I'm like, hey, that guy Ryan is a stand-up dude. Got on the phone and really walked me through it and was able to take care of it. And then like he looks up, he's like, I'm Ryan.
Nice.
Like, well, you were the man, dude. So
Yeah.
thank you. So I'm glad I wasn't in there. Like, yeah, well, if dipshit Ryan would have called me a week
Yeah.
ago, no, because I could have gone either way. I was pretty heated, but he was busting his ass. I couldn't be mad at him. Just the way they handle things over there. It's
Yeah.
just they
Those
don't-
electrical problems can be the bane of your existence.
Yeah, they're
The
hard
worst.
to chase
Especially
down.
an intermittent one like that. It's horrible.
It was a giant pain. I'm glad to have it back, but I'm devastated because I had just like gotten some money. It's oftentimes that's the way.
Gone.
She gone.
I got a little bit of money and I was like, oh, hell yeah. And like I paid like a bunch of money towards a credit card and was like, and I still have half of that money I came into. And then they were like, that'd be $1,000. I was like, and we're
There
back.
it goes.
Right back to zero.
Water
Yeah.
finds its level.
Exactly.
Like we're
That's exactly right.
I knew that wasn't going to be here for a while.
right back to where we started.
They were like, would you like us to put that on your account? I was like, no, my wife can't
Yeah.
know about that. Here's
Yeah.
here's
cash.
the money. Yeah. Thank you for your time. No, absolutely do not put that on the account. Hey, hon, how come I can't afford to get an oil change? And I don't know. That's really weird.
Weird.
You're
Call it
paying.
back.
You're paying the bill, right? That's odd. Just keep paying $50 a month. You'll be done in 20 months for what just
Yeah.
happened. It's brutal. But I'm back, guys. Now you get to see me cruising in a Miata. For the
I can't wait. Neckerchief, hat, little racing cap, racing gloves, fingerless gloves.
I would like to talk to Tom and see how his Miata's treating him.
I feel like you guys should join a crew,
Yeah.
like a gang.
There is one here in town.
Yeah, my father-in-law's a member.
No, I found
Nice.
a newer one.
You found the
like
one
for-
with younger people?
Much younger.
Yeah, but that
apparently
one'll-
too young.
I was going to say that one would be
Oh.
like Tokyo Drift, right?
It absolutely is.
Yeah, ground effects and
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're the River City
jerking
Miata
e-brakes
Club.
around turns.
There, I saw a River City Miata
Tons of
Club one out in the
Bazooka
wild.
bass tubes.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. Some
It had
Eclipse
like tow
head
hooks
units.
everywhere, so it could be towed from any direction out of any,
Right.
any
Oh,
hole,
yeah.
you know?
Uh-huh.
Oh, my God. It was crazy. They had like, he had some kind of like fluid reservoir on the outside. Like just to show people I'm a racer.
Yeah.
I don't have
Yeah.
room in this engine bay for things
Exactly.
like fluids.
Right.
This thing lives on the outside.
Keeps it chilled
yeah.
out here.
That's for the cooler, for the
For
intercooler.
extra wiper fluid.
That's right. These windows get dirty.
That's right.
When you're going 1,000 miles an hour, you're going to hit bugs.
Yeah.
Good times.
I did find this club, though, River City Miata Club. Like, looked them up. And at first, I'm like, okay, I think this is where I belong. And then, like, I started watching their Facebook posts, and, like, every Tuesday they meet up. I'm like, all right, that's a little aggressive. Like,
Yeah.
I got a lot more going on than every Tuesday meeting at Sonic to hang out with you guys. But,
Ooh, cheddar cheese tots.
Back in.
Yeah.
oh, yeah, there's part. But
Yeah.
so
you get chili on them, too.
Price shakes.
they're just always upset. Like, how come no one's hanging out every Tuesday? And so they're starting to figure it out. I'll wait till they scale it back a little.
Where do they meet? Around here at Sonic?
Yeah, they have 2 different meeting spots, one on each side of town. It's like every
Wouldn't
other
the
Tuesday.
giant boards make it difficult to talk to the guy next to
Yeah,
you?
like it seems like the work. At least it's not by our place. Is like
I'm an open parking lot. Call me
yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, weird.
Well, I think Sonic is the secondary stop.
Oh,
You go meet, and then you do a ride.
yeah. You get a frozen drink.
Just a dozen Miatas tearing up.
Pull up to the drive-through with your gal pal, and you.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yep.
So, but I did find a younger Miata crew, but I think these dudes are all like 18 and 19.
They're
Like,
probably road race, too, because a lot of people road
Yeah.
race those things.
these are the dudes that race. Yeah,
Yeah.
these guys have all the track spec cars. Like
Right.
they're definitely who you want to talk to like help me because my stuff is all aftermarket that's way beyond
Yeah.
me. So I definitely have my crew. It's either the one Miata crew that everyone's over 60, and I'd be like the really young guy, or I can be the old guy
In the
in
young
the
club.
racer crew.
Yeah.
And I don't know which one you want to be. I think I want to be the old guy in the younger crew, right?
You do.
Yeah.
I would.
I
at
would
least.
not.
You would go with the
I would
old
rather
crew.
be the cool young guy in the old people crew, especially because it sounds like what they do is more fun.
Oh, these guys cruise. In fact, they were gonna have a big cruise and a party at a dude's house this weekend until one of the guys piped up.
Party
and
was
said,
probably at the Moon Tower, too.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Well, they admitted, they said, well, there is a drift event this weekend at VIR. And I was like, yes, this is what I'm talking about. When their conflicts are drift events, I wouldn't even know how to drift a car
Right.
if I tried. I mean,
I'd rather go on a rally with the
could you
other-
drift a car?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, you know how to? You know how to? I assume you
How,
do.
like,
No, I
just-
mean, if you gave me a car that wasn't mine and it was manual, I could get into it pretty quick.
yeah,
You'd figure it out.
I
Yeah.
could power slide.
But, like, drift through, like, turns.
Oh, yeah.
And then
I could-
keep
yeah.
going. Oh, man, I don't know that I could. I'd like to try, but
I can drive
That's
anything.
momentum and turn the other way.
Yeah,
and
I can
let it
drive
rip.
anything.
I'm afraid that, based on what I know, if I go above 5,000 RPMs, the timing belt explodes. So I'm like, I'm nervous about.
That's how Miatas are.
Yeah,
It's like the ultimate drift car. The
Yeah,
answer is always
for sure.
Miata. Well, I'm gonna
only if you're in Tokyo, I guess.
Exactly.
get in.
I
with
live my
new
life quarter
crew.
mile at a time.
Yeah, you do.
I've been a member of the River City Miata Facebook club for 6 weeks, and I've never said anything because I joined.
Why'd they let you
and
in?
then it died. I mean, within 24 hours, it was like join dead. I was like, don't let them know you're here. And I just kind of sat in the distance.
How could you get in?
All I had to do was tell them I had a Miata.
And therefore, they just let you view their page, I guess.
Yeah, they just trusted me. They were like, send us a picture. I was like, no. Here's
Speaking of the quarter mile at a time, guys, have you ever watched that Street Outlaw show that's on Discovery Channel?
Oh, yeah.
What is the deal with that?
What do you mean?
What
When
is
they
the
rate-
deal?
What's the deal with
These
pink
like
slips?
these dudes are racing like looks to be six-figure vehicles, eighth of a mile, and they're like gambling 1,000 to 5,000. Like,
or the car itself.
no, that's what I'm saying. The car itself is well into the six figures.
But some
like,
of them just race pinks. That's the ultimate.
no,
Not on
on
that
this, not
show.
on this show.
Oh,
They
not
just
on
like,
the show?
No.
It's the show. It's such a show. Like it's the equivalent of, I would assume, like a Real Housewives show.
Asian
but for
and
dudes.
farm truck are the shit.
Because
you know that?
yeah, because you're like
Is
If
that
I-
the guy's name? Asian?
Asian and farm truck.
Is it
Well, they're
ironic or is he Asian?
no, they're named
He's
after.
Asian.
Okay.
Well, they're named after their cars have names, so that's kind of what they go by.
Okay.
So like farm truck is a fucking farm truck that's been tubbed out and fucking made to fucking go 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Beautiful.
It looks like nothing, and it fucking goes like thunder.
Yeah.
But
And Asians is all supercharged and thunder truck.
what's he
is
drive? I don't even.
Yeah, I don't remember what he drives.
Silva.
But
I think he goes back and forth.
anyway, they're like ranked 1 through 10. Each club is like ranked 1 through 10, and all they want to do is move up. And the whole show is them infighting about like, I should be 6 and I'm 8 and I'm challenging at 7 and then 7 will win.
That's right.
And then they're all mad at each other. And I'm like,
And then while they're doing that, they're like, "Oh, the Louisiana boys are talking shit."
Exactly, yeah.
We got load them cars up. We're going
That's
to
right.
Louisiana this
That's
weekend.
right.
But it's all street racing.
Yeah.
Right? No,
That's
that's
a bone I got to pick.
it
It's
can't be real.
They call it street racing because it's like on a street, but they're not street legal cars. There's nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
and the street doesn't have pedestrians.
No.
on it.
There's no stoplights or
no.
anything.
It's essentially a drag strip in the middle of nowhere that they
At
make
night.
it look like it's a street.
Yeah.
And like,
All
oh,
right.
the cops are coming.
Yeah.
But every car rolls up on a trailer.
Yeah.
They back it off. They race that motherfucker and they put it back on the
Okay,
trailer.
that is not like if I just showed up at a light. It was
No,
like,
no.
Screw you, bro. And
No,
then,
it's not you roll up and you hear a car coming out next to you, look over, and that dude taps his gas and
Yeah.
jumps forward, and you're like, all right, it's go time.
Like they've all got like 10-inch tires on them, I think is probably the limit.
yeah.
Street racing is like a class in drag racing, so that's why they call it street racing. But
Sure.
it's deceiving because that shit ain't street racing. You will never see any of those cars on the street.
And then basically all they do is do fuck tons worth of damage to them, only to spend the next week fixing them up, to do it again the next week
Yeah.
to move up 1 spot or down 2 spots.
If you know anything about racing or drag racing or just racing in general, it is a fucking money pit. It's
Yes,
all it is.
yes.
It's like
apparently just driving down the road's a money pit. That's why I
Yeah.
can't understand
Well,
if
and
I
then they're-
really got after
They're
it.
gambling for like quote unquote big money, like $1,000 a race or $5,000 a race. You're like, you just put $30,000 worth of parts on this car.
the only way to do that successfully is like
Rope
Big
a dope
Hoss or
motherfuckers.
whatever the fucking dude's name is.
Oh, the boss guy.
yeah, he what the fuck is his name?
I
He
forget.
drives the Murder Nova.
Yeah, it's like boss or something like that, isn't it?
He owns a shop. Like you have to own a shop.
Yeah.
And then you spend all your money souping up other cars that you've made from your shop.
You get all your buddies that drag race to come to your shop.
Exactly. Yeah.
But a lot of these dudes have their own like quote unquote shops. Like
And they do the work
Like
in their
Ely had
house.
his house. Like
Exactly.
these guys have garages like Ely's that are full of just tricked out cars
Yeah.
and parts and stuff. And you're
I
like,
got to race next weekend, but
how
I got to
can you-
change out the supercharger and put a new motor in it. You're like, that's $10,000.
how can
That's
you
legitimately
afford that?
$10,000.
How can you afford that?
Right. Yeah.
Reality TV money, man.
Exactly.
One
It's
of these.
got to be cooked, right?
The fact that they're blocking off the streets
I think
steals all
what's
credibility.
cooked is a lot of times they'll go cruising for a race.
Yeah.
Those are the cooked ones where they're like, "Oh, we just found this random person in the store. Look at their car; it's so sweet.
Daddy
Let's see if
Dave.
they want to go."
Daddy
yeah.
Dave is the boss guy.
No, that's not the boss.
Oh, it's not?
No. The
I'm
boss
looking
is
through the
Daddy
cast.
Dave.
Looks like Troy's internet history just caught up with him.
It's
Pulled up cast. Big Chief.
Big Chief. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I knew it was 2 names.
Right. Yeah. But it's like they're like, "Oh, we need some cash for this new motor, which is $5,000. Like, let's go troll Kmart and see if we can find someone who wants to race for some cash." And you're like, and we randomly popped in on this person who wants to race. They're like, "Yeah, we'll race you for $100 or something." And you're like, "Oh my god!" So you did that 55 more times?
I was about to
exactly,
say,
yeah.
Yeah.
and never lost, which
Right.
means you probably don't need to soup it up anymore.
Exactly.
You've got a pretty good record.
They did an in-rate, like, I've seen, like, maybe 3 episodes. On one of them, they were like, all right, we're mixing the whole thing up. Everybody throws in $1, and we're racing to see who's the fastest in our crew. And it's winner take all. And I was like, congrats, you get $10,000. You can't buy your tires for that. Like,
Yeah.
what do you,
Right.
What's the end game here?
Right.
There is none.
No.
It's
Yeah, I
just
need
throw
new
money after
tires, snap the drive shaft. You know,
Yeah.
it's like
Blow an engine.
Right.
Throw a rod. Like,
Yeah.
all right.
whatever.
It's expensive. Game.
Hobbies.
Yeah.
I mean, look,
All
man.
to shave off, like, 1/10 of a second.
Exactly.
Hey, man, I get it, man. Street racing is life.
It
You
is.
do get it. You would get it. That's why I can talk to you about it.
That's right.
You're about that life.
'Cause I'm definitely one of them.
I know the feeling.
Nothing that doesn't interest me at all. Now, I do like driving a performance vehicle from time to time, but I damn sure don't need to go 145 miles an hour in an eighth of a mile.
Right.
I mean, in a straight line. I'd rather carve up some back road going 60. Just cruise and listen to some tunes. Like, that's more fun to me.
That's definitely what I enjoy.
I do love the new vehicle that I've procured.
Dude, you
your
showed
car
up
is-
tonight. It
Yeah.
sounded disgusting.
It's awesome.
Like, that is
I always wanted a fast sedan. I got one, and I was not off on what I wanted. It's the shit. Every time I drive it, I'm smiling.
when you pulled up, my daughter actually said she referred to your car as a race car.
Oh.
She said, yeah, she was like, oh, yeah, well, it's over there behind the race car. And I was like, huh, I bet Ely would like that.
It is a race car.
Yeah.
It is,
I
but
did that
it's
when
also,
Jacob's friend said that. He's like, what is that? Is this a race car? And I was like,
You
yes,
goddamn
it is,
right
kid.
it
That's
is, son.
exactly right.
race
Yeah.
car with leather seats, but yes.
You're a smart kid.
Yeah, I like
Jacob.
Hang out more.
Yeah. Stick around that kid. He's going places.
He'll be in River City Miatas before long.
Right, for sure.
It's funny how, like, you said sedan. Like, I can literally remember talking to my best friend when I was 16, being like, why would you have a four-door car? Two doors have back seats. Why would
Right,
you ever need a four-door? That's the dumbest. They look like crap.
Yeah.
Like, it's the dumbest design ever. And now, like,
You
I
can't
couldn't
even
be
buy a
more
car.
on the other side of that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
why would anyone ever have a two-door? Remember having to, like, sit forward and, like,
The
crush
worst.
yourself? Or,
Right.
At our
No, I'm
age?
good. I'm good.
Yeah.
Knees are all
Of course,
mushed.
now I'd have to get out. Like,
Exactly.
there's no, like,
They all look better in two-door, though.
Yeah.
Every
Not-
car. When
As
you
long as you're hauling around, a couple of 8-year-olds, you're good.
what I hate about most two-doors is, and to me this is a huge design flaw, they put back seats in a lot of them that should not have back seats. And to
Yeah.
me, that looks like hell. When there's a rear seat and a rear headrest 18 inches from the back of your seat, that just looks awful.
Oh, yeah.
Like, get a two-door car that has two seats in it.
Right.
I mean, I'm the dummy who's got a SUV with two doors.
Yeah?
I mean, and that was popular for a minute.
Yeah.
Remember, like the first Broncos came out 2 doors. Then you
Yep.
had like the old 4Runners 2
Cherokees
doors.
had them.
Yeah, the Cherokees did. Obviously Jeeps did. Wranglers. They all had the 2-door. Even the Tahoe, when it first came out, as big as it was, it had 2 doors.
Now they hardly even make two-door pickup trucks anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Like-
can't even find it.
Yeah.
It's
If
crazy.
you find them they're super
They're
cheap.
work trucks.
And they're super cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that because the 2-door is so useless that
It's just, there's no demand for it.
I saw a full-grown man
Contractors.
in an extended cab today in the back.
Really?
Like, just mashed up against the glass like he
Yeah.
lost a bet or something. I was like, that poor dude.
The extended, not the crew.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
third little suicide door all wedged up in there.
Dude, I hate those.
I don't think it had the suicide door.
Like you
I think it
crawled
was like
behind the
yeah,
seat.
it was like
Ooh.
had the jump seat, the fold
Yeah.
down
I was
jump
about to
seat.
say, like the old Tacomas always had
Yeah.
the jump seat in the back, and
Yep.
you just be sitting in that, like, no, guys, this is great. And I'm really, really glad you have a sub.
Right.
Really
Dude.
helping out.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, my dad had a Dodge pickup truck that me and my brother and sister rode 4 wide in for years. It's like an '83 stick shift, and then he finally got a new truck, and that was a Mazda with an extended cab, quote unquote, had the little bench seat across the back.
Yeah.
And we made so many trips to Louisiana, Florida, the 4 of us in that thing. That should be against the law.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was not safe.
No.
I mean, I know they were small.
Even when I drive the little Tacoma, my stepson's Tacoma, old Johnny's old Tacoma.
But that doesn't have a back seat, right?
No, not at all. It's just
Yeah.
a flat cab, but I've still, it feels like death's around the corner.
yeah,
Because you're like,
your head's up against the glass.
yeah, you're like, this thing just doesn't feel stable. You
Yeah.
know?
We got a buddy who is a retired firefighter. I mean, he did it for a while, and every time he sees my damn Miata, it's like he doesn't remember that he's told me the story of the time he had to use the jaws of life to pull someone out of a Miata, and then he's like, and the only reason we figured out that there was someone else in there is when we found the 3rd foot. And I'm like, why do you keep telling me this damn story?
Yeah.
And he tells it to me all the time. And he's like, while he's smoking cigarettes. And I'm going to be like, well, can we run it back right here? Because you're telling me I'm crazy because once a week I drive a Miata around, but you smoke a pack a day. Like, how is that? How's that
Hey man,
fair?
what I'm doing is different than what you're doing.
Yeah.
He
Don't judge
beats me up over it. He's like, I can't believe you do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't believe all the stuff any of us do. If I'm going to sit in bubble wrap in my house, then put me down.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done. It's ridiculous.
I mean, yes, a Miata is not the same as riding around in a monster truck, but It's a safe vehicle. I think it's a safe vehicle. I mean, there's a gajillion of them on the road.
It's relatively. I mean, look.
I would be
it's-
less like when I had the little Lexus, I didn't like driving that around because it like you can't see over the car in front of you. If you do get into something serious,
don't like
I'd much
that.
rather be in something bigger,
Sure, but you're gonna die somehow.
So more about
Yeah.
So it's like I'm just like I want to have
it's
fun.
a T-bone in
while I'm
that
driving.
little thing is what worries me.
Oh, for
Those
sure.
doors are so.
So apparently, the year of my Miata, they added a brace in the back so when you do get T-boned, it doesn't just completely fold. Mine doesn't have the damn brace.
took it out to add something in it.
The guy took it out to put fake ass roll bars that are
Nitrous.
just drilled into like the actual deck in the back.
Yeah.
Call those faux bars.
So he took away all the rigidity for side impacts to put some fake ass faux bars in there. I am thinking about
Upgrade.
pulling those and putting like a real. I mean, rigidity does matter.
Get you
in
some
car
of
that
those
size.
little.
Well, that's what he has, but he has the fake ones.
Oh, they're fakies.
yeah.
But they make one that,
They wobble.
that does the crossbar and has that. Yeah, they literally, if you go up, you can just rip it out of the
Nice.
deck.
you should
yeah,
get the
it's
real
pretty
ones
sweet.
put in there.
Yeah, but again, that's like $500.
Dude, you have unlimited Miata money. We've
For
talked
sure.
about this.
Yeah.
My Miata fund that had no money
Unlimited.
in it, got money
Unlimited.
in it, went away.
If you had to get rid of one of your two vehicles, which one would you get rid of?
He can't get rid of one.
Of my toy vehicles?
Yeah.
One would make him money, one would lose him money. So that there's no decision.
That is really difficult. I think that the
Got to do it. Rules of the game.
It's a hypothetical, Brendan.
The Forerunner stays because it's never let me down. In over 10 years, it's been rock solid.
So you'll take the loss of the Miata.
I would. The more expensive car.
That's the right call. That is the right call.
I think I'd keep. But here's what's up. I'm not going to get rid of either. I mean,
No, I hear you. It was a hypo.
Exactly.
Thetical.
But the Forerunner just runs. I mean, look, it's an old ass Forerunner. It runs like a top. Those things
Do
always.
you
have.
enjoy driving it as much as you enjoy driving the Miata?
No. But I enjoy that it starts every time I go out there, and I get enough enjoyment out of driving it that little bit, the fact that it starts, makes it worth
Nice.
doing.
Yeah.
That does carry a value.
It does. It's certainly nowhere near as fun to drive. It's not even close. But
Speaking of car stuff, I had an idea for something that I wanted to throw out to you guys. Give me your thoughts on it.
If this is a really good idea, we may want to turn the
Mics off.
mics off.
I am willing right now to take that risk because this idea is not going to be $1 million idea.
That's
You don't know that.
Why would you say that?
I'm
Yeah.
just someone had to take a side. I don't know. I'm taking a side.
It's negative
I
side,
feel like
right?
that's knocking,
I mean,
knocking the intellect of your friend here.
yes, he's basically saying I'm. A
Oh,
dummy.
was that transparent?
Yeah.
It was- that should have been.
All right, come on, dummy, give it to us.
Well, I feel like no matter what I say now, he's going to shit upon it.
Yeah.
No, what do you got? What do you got?
I'll shoot you straight.
All right,
If it's awesome, you and I are in. He's out.
that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
So I assume this happens a lot to a lot of people. It happens to all my vehicles all the time. My wife's car. Maybe it's because of where we live, but shit gets caught underneath the wipers all the time. Pine needles, pine cones,
Under the wiper.
under the wiper.
So like when you go to wipe, it like drags the pine needles
Yeah.
across your wind. Yeah, I know.
and then like you spray the mist up, and then it wipes it clean in like some spots, but of course right in your line of vision is a little rainbow of still wet and
Yeah,
shit
the
streak and
worst.
whatever.
Yeah.
It happens. I swear, it happens all the time on on all my cars. And every day, almost, I'm getting out, lifting the wipers up, scraping shit out from under it, putting the wiper back down. Can we not? I mean,
yeah, all the time. I'll give you that.
and look,
I think all the time's a stretch.
In the fall, I have to do it almost every time I get in my car because of the amount of trees here.
well, look. I know it's a
Hold that
luxury.
thought.
I know it's a luxury, but like some cars have like rain sensing wipers. Some have wipers on their fucking headlights. Like we are living in first world shit. So
For sure.
why can't we just have a little mode on your little wiper thing where you hit it and it lifts the wipers up a half an inch, and then cycles one time and sets them back down.
You know what would be better even? Rotate the wiper one time like a vacuum. You know, like they
Yeah,
have it
yeah.
just vroom. If it
Like
flipped over,
so
it would
have
toss it out, right?
two blades on it basically, and just 180 and went around.
I was thinking just have it do a full 360.
A full 360. That's not bad.
Why not? Like while it's going, you could go hit the button that goes expel. It rolls the 360. Your idea is not horrible. I'm willing to.
I like your idea. I think your
I like
idea is a
it. I
better
like
version
it.
than
Yeah, I don't like
actually
the
lifting
idea.
the whole arm up.
You don't like the idea.
No.
You know
What?
what? Going in, he was never going to like it. That's
No,
why he made
that's
that
that's
shitty.
exactly
horseshit.
why.
That's why
I
he
would've
made
liked
that.
it.
He made that shitty comment right at the beginning.
I don't think there's enough of that to warrant the companies to do it.
Well, you're a garage park guy.
No, but I've lived a
Whatever,
majority of my
garage
life
guy.
outside of it
You've
with
got-
needles.
14 garages, and you park your cars in them.
What are you got? T-Rex arms? You can't swipe the fucking thing off? That's what I said. Hold that thought. Does driving and hitting your wipers not get rid of 98% of the shit that you need to get rid
Not
of?
for me. Not for me.
There's always something stuck under there. But I know, like, I go out
but
oftentimes.
dude, then
and just
that's the
scrape it.
same fucking. Okay, then why do we have power windows and power locks? You can't. Your T-Rex arms can't go like this.
No. I'm
Burn.
saying that I don't think there's enough of a desire. Like, it's not a big enough problem for it to be worth the manufacturer's time.
I agree. I
is what I'm
agree with
saying.
that.
But if you
the
bought a new
manufacturers-
Lexus and it had
Yes.
it, like,
That's where I was
then
going.
the people who were buying Toyotas in a few years would be like, I wish we had that.
A lot of car issues.
That would happen.
A lot of car issues aren't the wipers
First
on the
world,
on the headlights. You know, somebody's like never thought if only my headlights didn't have rain on them. It would
Yeah.
help so much.
Right.
But you know, when Mercedes or whoever came out that they did that shit, you know, people were like, "Dude, my shit's got wipers on the headlights," and you know, you're like somebody's bragging
Yeah.
their friends about
Did
that.
I tell
shit.
you about the time? Did I tell you about I hit the high beams in my car the other day, and I went and I was going on a windy road, and those fuckers turned up the road before I did.
You
Yeah,
didn't,
see?
you didn't know it did that,
I
right?
had no clue. I was like, "Holy shit, my shit turned up the hill!"
Okay, but isn't that kind of the same thing? Like, why
It's
would you
exactly
need that?
the same thing.
Okay, just
I give you that for
Dude,
sure.
that's what happened when I bought my piece of shit van. I bought the van, took it home. My mom came in town. She was like, "Show me your new car." So we took it around the block, and I grabbed the steering wheel like in the proper way and felt the
paddle shifters or something.
No, the paddle shifters in the minivan. That's good.
nice.
The volume control and the radio
Yeah,
controls on the back of it, and I was like, "That's awesome!
Oh,
I don't have
yeah.
to move my arm."
Yes,
18 inches
that is
to
game
the
changing.
right.
The first time you get some of those in your life, it
Yeah.
is game changing.
Because I'd looked for them on the front of the steering wheel, like a
Yeah.
lot of them have, but they were
Uh-huh.
like tucked up behind it. And I was like, "That's awesome!"
Yep,
My volume control went out on my steering wheel in my car,
the worst.
and every time before I turn it up, I still try.
Yeah.
I'm like, click, click. Damn it, still the problem. Have to move arm.
I don't know. I thought that was a good idea, but
It's actually not a horrible idea. They call it the ITPH blade.
there you go. Makes sense.
I like it.
Okay,
Now
Now
we're
you
all in
heard
on
it here
royalties.
first. Yeah,
Patent
If you got a
pending.
better idea, or
I
think
do.
that
I
one's
think
stupid.
that they
No, I'm not
should-
saying you, listener. Hit us up.
oh
Like,
yeah, for sure.
Tell me
I
how
like
dumb
that.
that
But I do
is.
have a better
I like
idea.
that choice.
What's your
Not
better
you, Ely.
Yeah.
A listener.
Yeah,
Someone I care to listen
my
to.
idea is that something electrical circuit in the car that when you have, the anchors in the back seat.
Yeah.
Okay, for the car seats, like
Yeah.
kid seats.
Like when you clip them in, there's a metal connection there that it somehow reminds you that there's a kid parked in the fucking seat in the front. Like when you open the door,
It's not a
instead of
bad
a door
idea.
chime, it makes a fucking kid in the back, asshole.
Well, you
kid in
know,
the back,
I mean, your
asshole.
passenger seat already has a
Right,
weight sensor,
exactly.
so why can't the rear seats have the
Yeah.
weight sensor? Like, hey, there's something
because
back
that
here.
shit's sad, man. That happens. Like,
Dude, did you see that fucked up CNN article that was like, it suggested putting something in the back of the car very important. So you would that's
so something
that was it. The fix.
something
Yes.
more important than your child.
Yes.
CNN, you are fake news. If that's what you go for, that is the worst thing I've ever heard.
Ever.
My Hatchimals back there.
That's it.
Yeah. Throw your
I'm never forgetting this kid. Yeah.
What
Oh
in the?
my
That shit's
God.
fucking
Hell.
crazy. Yeah. Right.
What a genius!
I don't know what
idea.
pisses me off more: someone wrote that or someone approved that.
For sure.
Like probably 8
Yeah.
people approved
like
that.
I'd like to plant one of these right in both of
oh
their
my
faces.
god! Yeah, I put my credit cards back there because I don't want to
Yeah.
forget that. I've set my wallet back there before I leave.
Yeah, just throw my phone back
Actually,
there.
that's it. It's
Your
your
phone. Your
It's
phone.
your phone.
Yeah.
You give your kid your phone because the first thing you'll do is when you start walking is tap your pocket and go, "Oh shit, the phone!" And it's attached
That's
to that
probably
damn
what everybody
kid.
should do anyway. Is just throw their phone in the back seat.
Yeah.
There should be a pocket back there. You stick your phone in anyway. That way you're not driving and texting, and that way when you get out of the car, you go to the back seat.
See, here we thought
That
it was
could be
a
the next
dumb
idea. The
It-
phone holder in the back. It's
Yeah.
a compartment.
Yep.
It's called
Your-
a pocket. They got tons of them now.
Your
but
kid,
yeah.
your kid will
Fancy
always be
one.
safe.
Yeah.
How's
Well,
that-
my
You would
phone.
never leave
More
your
importantly,
phone.
my phone will be safe.
Yeah,
Because that's what I care about.
Yeah.
Put something
Can't
I
go
really
into my
put something I really care about in the back.
Yeah.
That is the
Super
worst.
important.
You know, you're going to reach back, grab that phone out of the kid's hand, and run into the store.
Oh, that's the worst thing I've ever heard.
Ever.
That'll help me. I tell you what, we've all had kids. It never happened to me, but it was something in the back of my head that, like,
Always.
You know-
I know somebody, like acquaintances, who did that and lost their kid.
Really?
oh, really?
Yeah, like literally just left the kid back there. And it's like, and they're still married, and it's been like a year now, and I'm just like, how long? Like, how long could that live inside you before that cancer ate away at like your love for your spouse? Like, if your spouse screwed that up, wouldn't you anticipate that? I feel like it would eat me up.
It would definitely be hard, but I feel like you
Yeah,
would
but-
ultimately know if there was malice there.
Yeah, not to, and you would know that exactly, and you would know that that person's going through hell, so they
know,
would
but
almost
could
feel like
you-
they needed you needed to be there to help them.
And do you think your desire to be there for them would be
Like,
stronger
if-
than your anger?
If you were convinced that that person missed and was as sad about it happening as you were, then yes, you could.
I'd like to think I could, but I think I'd be devastated and angry. I just think I
mean-
would. I don't. Maybe
No. There's nothing wrong with that. I understand, and I'm inclined to agree with you, but I can see it not happening that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and well, I've been kind of like surprised. I'm like, okay, they're still doing okay, and they're doing all right.
Yeah.
I think last I heard they were thinking about having another kid and everything. So, but I
That's
mean,
the tough part.
but
is
you don't
having
think
another kid.
I mean, you just do some stupid shit, and it comes up in arguments all the time. You know,
Oh
like
yeah, that's one you never bring.
you
that shit
can't
up.
bring that up.
No.
And if you do, you're a piece of shit.
You are straight up dog shit.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. I totally agree with you. But I mean, I think that the back of your
You
mind.
didn't do the dishes again. You killed our son.
That's right.
Oh God!
Get in there, start scrubbing.
But I mean, would you, if they were like, "Hey, I'm going to the store and I'm taking the kid," I'd be like, "Nah, I'm good. I'll watch the kid." Like, don't you think those little things would happen?
Probably, but I don't know that person.
You
can
also
fault
got to
for
think that person might not ever forget again.
Yeah.
That person might never let that kid out of their eyesight.
I agree. It's just something I've thought about.
I often wonder about, like, obviously there's the accidents, but I often wonder how much is not an accident, but portrayed to be an accident.
I'm going to throw this out there. I'm going to say 25%.
Is
on purpose.
On purpose.
on purpose. So you think it's a lot more accidental than
Well, there was
Oh,
a
for
guy a few
potential.
years ago. Remember he?
Yeah.
he did
dentist
that.
guy. Wasn't he a dentist, dude?
Yeah, he was a dentist or a doctor, and he was, he'd been like chatting with some young girl. And
Yes.
trying to
Oh,
get her.
yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like
Sexting.
it happened, and it's like I always kind of assumed that guy did it on purpose. I don't know if he got convicted of it or anything.
I
but
think he did.
But you don't. I mean, that's
in the
kind-
court of ITPH,
right.
guilt.
Yeah, but just because he was being a scumbag on that level doesn't mean he wants his child to die. I mean, that's a whole
one of the last texts
a
was
whole
like
different level.
bitching about how the kid's keeping him from her
Oh.
and all this stuff. So
I don't remember all the inside.
The next level shit, well, that is next level shit. But then there's another level, like I guess kind of parallel to that, another dimension, that is the chick that talked the dude into suicide.
oh, my
That's
gosh.
insane.
Like, do it. Stop being a pussy.
Yeah, get back in that car.
And then he did it.
Yeah.
And now she's fighting to get out of prison. Like, no, this is, that got taken out of context. I was like, in
Dude,
what
it's
context
straight
is
up
stop
in
being
English.
a pussy, get back in the
Yeah.
car? I'm sorry. Could you run the context of that conversation back there? Because I
Right.
was looking at the text message with all the context.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if I
I was
missed
reading words.
something. Yeah, in linear fashion.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know how that. I mean, people get convicted of murder and don't for getting someone else to kill someone. So why wouldn't you?
Well, there's
No,
a lot
no,
of
no.
debates. Like if you go online,
Ray Lewis got in the Hall of Fame for doing
Yeah,
that.
Yeah, he did.
Sorry.
That's a trick.
Yeah. Just we forget about these things. It's like one of the podcasts I was listening to the other day was talking about Bruce Jenner thing.
Yeah,
how
yeah.
like he just plowed into that
Family.
family.
Yeah, how
killed
did that
chick,
go
and then-
away? He was admittedly like texting or something
Yeah.
when it happened.
Yep.
That's negligence.
Yeah. But no, inside, like, there's a lot of. I was surprised because I travel a lot of libertarian circles on the internet at how many people thought that chick should have no fault at all.
I can hear an argument for that, honestly, because
What chick are we talking
I'm
about?
sorry.
The one that talked the guy into killing himself.
Because he did it of his own free
Yeah.
will, even though
Right.
she.
well, that's like so. Like
Libertarian beliefs say that if what I'm doing does not affect you, then it shouldn't matter. Isn't what she was doing affect him?
yeah, but if I tell you, Brendan, to kill yourself 100 times, are you going to do it?
No, but I'm probably going to hang out less. I feel like that would start to
Let's
get
try.
under. I
Yeah.
feel like that. No, let's
What are you
not.
doing tonight? Kill yourself.
Right.
Boy, Troy's been really grumpy lately.
Great to see you. Why are you still not swinging from the rafters?
Yeah.
Still alive, huh? All right.
Reminds me of that.
What the fuck?
What joke was that with Bruce Willis when he was like, we lost a lot of great people this year. It'd be nice if we lost some average people. That impression you do of, Robin Williams. You finish it.
Why don't you finish it?
Yeah, that was a roast, right? The roast.
yeah,
of
the
Bruce
Did you watch the whole thing?
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
couldn't watch
dude.
it all that night, but I went home last week and watched about half of it and then watched the other half the next night.
Shit
It
was pretty good, wasn't
hilarious.
it?
Had me dying.
Yeah.
Troy, we're 45 minutes into the show. That means
Time for deli.
I could go for a beer.
Mm.
I've been holding out this whole
Smells
time.
like disappointment.
No, I've had it too. I'm just-
You'll notice what I brought here today is, I would think, a ringer in the deli world.
I don't know. Belgian beers are tough. So this is, if I say this wrong, I'm sure I'm gonna get beat up. But it's Le Choff. It's
I think that's right.
the La should be easy. It's
That's not how they
LA.
pronounce it in Dinwiddie.
How do they? Le Chofe.
Choffy.
It's La.
La Choffy.
And then CHOUFFE. It's always known because it's got the little like dwarf on it or fairy or what is that thing?
No.
Gnome. Duh. Thank you.
Big words.
Big words. Okay. Right away, I look down. I see 8% alcohol content.
Ooh, I didn't notice
Oh,
that.
really?
Yeah, this is a baller. We'll
Yeah,
see
this
how-
is a pop off, I think. So I know. Illy likes German Hefeweizen style beers. So
Nine!
But this is a Belgian beer. Le Choff is
not far off.
no, but this is I haven't had one of these in a long time. The blonde Le Choff though, so we'll see how this. We'll see where this ends up. The bottle's funny.
It's 11.2 ounce bottle, and it was expensive in the deli world. It was $12 for a 4-pack.
Good God, it looks like a Kong, like the dog toys. The way the
Oh,
bottle
yeah.
looks.
Yeah.
The gnomes of Fairyland are particularly fond of this golden beer. Le Choff, with a slightly hoppy taste, combining notes of fresh coriander and fruity tones, is the drink which gives them their zest for life. At least that's what these imps say when they are thirsty. Their secret used to be jealousy guarded from one generation to the next, until the day they shared the recipe with humans to seal their friendship. Of all the legends from the wonderful region of the Belgian,
Any
Something.
mentions of Gandalf in there?
this is the one which most merits retelling.
How many Smurfs does it have? It tastes awfully Smurfy.
That's Gargamel's favorite.
Le Choff, and this is the blonde version of Le Choff.
There's multiples.
Yeah, they make a handful of these, and I've worked my way through some of them. Belgian beers and I have a
Love-hate relationship.
yeah, it's real hit or miss for me.
The only reason I know I've had one of these before because back when I was single and young and didn't have kids, used to go to Steal the Glass night at
oh yeah, this is the kind
Capital
of place.
Ale
Yep.
every Wednesday, and I have a collection of about 100 pint glasses, and I have a glass with this little gnome on it. Not a pint glass, because this is one of those things that come in like a chalice or something.
Well, yeah, because it's super strong.
So you mentioned blonde, and that kind of got me thinking. I think we've talked about this before, but do you still have the same feelings towards blondes that you did when you were like 16, 17, 18?
Blonde
Or
females?
Yes. No, gentlemen.
I didn't know if you were talking.
Brendan, you answer second.
I didn't. I didn't know if you were talking beer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Females.
You mean like
Like when you're young, you're like, oh, the blondes.
Yeah, like
but now I'm
supermodel.
like, I prefer brunettes, hands down.
Well, I mean, that's not smart. Blondes are hot. Always will be. I do feel, so to answer your question, I feel the same way I did as a child.
Really?
I find that like I'll be walking through the mall or anywhere.
Yeah, but see, okay, here, let me give you a theory about that. I think that's because the blonde stands out more.
That's fine. Either way, my spidey sense goes off. I see the blonde from behind. I speed up my pace just to get closer,
Hey, mister.
only to find out that she's 70 years old. And I'm like, well, duped by the hair. But I don't speed up to see every brunette, or I'd be speed walking all over the world.
So you're saying it's just a rarity thing, which I wouldn't say. What's the percentages?
So you want to know
Yeah,
something?
that's a good question. I don't know because I can tell you who's a smoking blonde. You throwing at me?
Christy Brinkley. I mean, it's old, but
You better cut that the fuck out of the podcast.
I wish you
Don't
guys.
fuck-
she's still hot at 70 years old. She is smoking.
I wish you could have seen it.
Well, she is. She is like the perfect
He
blonde.
referenced 1989 up in here.
For real.
She's still hot at 70. All right, I am going to cut this whole segment.
You have to.
They didn't do a deli this
Fucking
week.
fuddy-duddy motherfucker. Christy, remember that when she was driving next to
Farrah
Chevy Chase?
Fawcett, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about what is her name from Modern Family? I'm drawing a blank. The Spanish woman.
The mom?
Yeah, she got rid of her blonde hair for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she couldn't get the role with this. But have you
No,
seen
'cause
a
she's
picture
10
of her?
times hotter.
Have you seen a
Yeah.
picture of her
Yes,
as blonde?
she's 10 times hotter
That's
as a
what I was
brunette.
wondering. Do you think she is hotter as a brunette?
Yes.
I've never seen her as a blonde.
Oh.
She can't look good.
So much
No.
hotter. So much hotter.
No.
She's at least an 8 with blonde hair. She's like a 6 brown hair.
The other mom's pretty
Sophia
hot as a
Vergara.
blonde.
No, she's yes. The other mom in there, smoking hot.
Yes, but she's hot, but she's not on Sofia Vergara's
No.
level.
Okay, Kate Upton.
Kate Upton is very hot.
Is she blonde?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Smoking hot.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't-
a good one.
So here's some. So I'm regained myself. Marilyn Monroe.
Back in my day.
Exactly. I saw this flapper the other day.
Let me see. I think Kate Middleton is fucking the smoking.
I have a love for redheads. I've
Really?
always liked redheads.
So you like girl Emma Stone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like back when that 70s show was on TV, I like Laura
yeah.
Prepon.
Uh-huh.
Because I like taller girls too. Like girls
Right.
over 6 feet
So I got
and
a
redhead, that's like it's in my
Double
wheelhouse.
whammies.
question for you guys. What color hair does my wife have?
She has brown hair, but it goes blonde in the summertime.
Yeah,
and-
it's like a dirty
Yeah.
blonde.
So you would consider her somewhat of a blonde.
Yeah.
No,
No?
I wouldn't.
So when I met her, she was a full-on blonde,
Yeah, I remember.
and I was like,
She was in Four Non-Blondes?
she was in Four Non Blondes. She
Yeah.
was wanted to go say hey.
Hey,
Play the cello.
what's going on?
Yeah, that was her. She's changed.
Yeah.
So now she steps outside and doesn't get high, right?
I really don't know like what these like dirty blonde like I can't
I have a hard time with it too.
I really
yeah, for
don't
sure.
Like,
'Cause
so I always thought my wife was a blonde when I met her. The first time I saw her, she was a blonde. When I started dating her, she was a blonde.
Because there's very
One
few
day she
Anna Nicole
stopped.
Smith straight
Yeah.
blondes these days. They're all some
Yeah.
kind of mix.
And I don't
a
know.
lot of them are dyed up.
Yeah.
All I know is one day my wife wasn't a blonde, and I never noticed.
Right.
So people would be like, what's your, I don't know, blonde hair, blue eyes. She's a brunette.
Yeah.
But I didn't even notice that the change occurred. And then the other day, she's like, no, I've been brown for like a decade. All this time, I've been like, no, she's blonde. Because in my mind, she's a blonde. And now I don't even know what she would look like if she went.
I think I might have a little bit of a like dumb blonde curse in me
Whoa.
too. Like
You mean as to why you don't like them?
or like what's the word I'm looking for?
You're prejudiced.
Yes,
Like a bad
nailed it.
taste in your mouth.
Nailed it.
Yeah, no, he carries.
More of like just like I'm
Oh,
assuming
Yeah.
you're trying to move to Hollywood and be in Baywatch, and you're not
Yeah.
lighting many neutrons together.
neurons.
I got you.
I just like when someone's making a point about how your neurons aren't working and says neutron.
Like Jimmy.
Yeah. I was picking it up. No, I mean, I'm with you. I tend to think dark hair, dark skin, dark features. I think that looks better.
Yeah.
I just was always a blonde guy, so I married myself a blonde who immediately went brunette.
It's just like that's what you look at like when you're young in magazines and shit, and I think that's
Well, especially in our age bracket, like that 80s.
yeah.
I
It was
think
the
that
thing.
was it.
That
It
was
was
the
the
thing.
thing.
I full on faded away from it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because there's so few of them.
Maybe I don't know, but
Like,
there's
what would
some-
you consider Jennifer Aniston? Because she's one of my faves.
see. I think of her as a
tough one.
blonde, but she's not.
She's one of those tweeners.
Yeah.
But there's nothing hotter. I'll give you this, like dark hair with like green eyes or something. I mean, that's it. That's a wrap.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, like that's or don't wrap it up. Lock her up. Like that's forever, right?
Like, does that what the other Prince Harry's got?
Yeah. Something on. She's on that level, right?
Oh yeah, that's what makes her
Yeah.
stand out for sure.
Goddamn princes.
So the elf on here has blonde hair, right?
Speaking of hair, there should be a class action lawsuit against every one of those celebrities that sells that hair in a box on TV.
What's hair in the
The
box?
hair dye in a box. Like I use this. Like
Just for men?
no, like the famous. There's famous women celebrities that sell like
Yeah,
hair
like
dye.
L'Oreal.
Yeah. It's
yeah.
like you are not using that.
Right.
Like you are not using $10 hair dye in a box that you get at CVS.
Right.
There is no way.
Zero
That is-
chance.
you're lying. And then of course, a car like a Mercedes jumps off a bridge into the water, and then you got to put "Do not attempt. This is not real."
Yeah.
But yet the chick can come on the TV and tell you that her hair color is out of a box.
Sounds fair to me.
Sounds about right. Advertising doesn't have.
Are we doing
boundaries.
this?
Yeah, you want to go
Valley?
first? You want me to go?
Go ahead.
So the Le Choff is a very traditional Belgian style beer. I don't think there's any two ways about it. My problem with Belgian beers always has been that they are so high octane. You start a car with them. They're definitely overpowered in some respects, and oftentimes the flavor can be a lot. I actually visited Brussels for about a day, and I remember thinking the beer here is awful, but Le Choff is one of those few that I have found that really takes a step out from what I think makes Belgian beers too overpowering and takes it down a notch. It has all of those elements of like a true Belgian wit beer. When I drink it, it's spicy, but yet refreshing, which is always what's one of the weird things about it. This one in particular has coriander in it. I couldn't identify coriander if you asked me to, but I believe it has something to do with that almost.
The bite.
It's almost like what makes it a little bit like a Blue Moon,
Yeah.
but clearly light years better. I think that the Le Choff Blonde is probably my favorite of all the Belgian beers that I've had. It's one of my go-tos if I'm going to drink a Belgian beer. I can't give it any less than a 4. I could go as high as a 4.5 if you take it in its universe and say this is a Belgian beer. What do you think? Then it's a 4.5. But just out in the wild, I give it a 4. I love this beer. Super strong though.
I mean,
Gotta be
it's
careful.
got a gnome riding a unicycle on the label, so right there, that's 2 points, right?
Easy.
Immediately. And, you know,
It's just not a beer you can drink all day. It'll kill
no,
you.
I was going to say, I'm halfway through this 11.2 ounce beer, and I can feel it. Like,
Absolutely.
it's high octane, but
It's the fentanyl of beers.
I'm not gonna
Probably not a good reference.
repeat everything Brendan said, but I agree with most everything you said. It's a tasty beer. It's delicious. It's all those good things, and I can't imagine drinking more than 2 of them. But yeah, I give this a 3.5 at least. Not at least a solid 3.5.
Now I know when you chose this, You specifically did because you know that Ely has a soft spot for this style of beer. But this is stronger. He likes a Hefeweizen, which is more of that German wit. This is the Belgian version. This is
But this still has that texture to me that'll
does.
Weiss
It's just
beer
got more.
does. Yeah.
So I'm
and
interested.
It does say hoppy on the label, which I did not read. So,
But do you think that they put that word hoppy there 5 years ago just to catch? Like, I think there's a lot of old beers that are like, add hop to the label because every beer has hops in it.
could very well be because it doesn't taste very hoppy.
I think you have to put that now. You know, it's like they used to talk about malts and barley, and now they're like, and hops, you know.
Yeah.
But Ely, what are you thinking with the LaChoff Blonde?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy it. It's you can't go wrong bringing one of these. I will say I don't like how strong it is.
It's
a little too strong,
much
yeah.
for me.
That's why it's in a 4-pack, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep.
But because of I would, if it was around a 5, I'd probably give it something much higher. But I'm going to be in the 3. Let's go 3.5.
There it is.
Yeah.
We'll take it. We'll take it.
It was a layup, but I'll take it.
Yeah, for sure. It's a good
It's a
beer.
good beer. It's a good beer.
I had a feeling you were going to go for a layup tonight, though, because you were like, let me see what I can find.
Well, I'm running out of beers that I don't know, that I'm not sure if we've had or not.
Hello.
Well, it's hard to find a deli anyway because he doesn't like the IPAs, but I don't mind trying an IPA, but there's 2 types of IPAs. The ones that are over the top that are about 90%, and then the other ones.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to find something that might be in he might like that, and I might like that isn't over the top. It's like they just keep trying to up the funky, crazy factor.
Shitty flavor.
This is more of the shit. It's like, how about let's fucking dial it back and add something else? It's not in their
Business
I was just
model.
watching. So you've been on the road a lot the last little bit with the new gig, I've noticed.
Yeah.
And I have not heard any stories about this, but I've heard you grumbling a little bit about Nova and DC, and I'm making a leap here, but I'm assuming that the
You
connection
love
has
it.
something to do with you being up there more often.
I can't wait. I'm going to Jason Jones this motherfucker, and I'm moving up there because it is the most wonderful
Oh,
place
so
I've ever been.
you love it.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's more
For sure.
about
Our house is on the market. We're
you
going
you guys are from there, so you obviously understand it's what is not to love, right?
Yeah.
No. I moved here on purpose. But I am interested to hear what's going on with you.
So last weekend, my boys have never been to a professional baseball game. They've been wanting to go, and past couple of years I said we're going to go. We never get to go. A few weeks ago, the wife and I were like, look, we got this weekend coming up between baseball seasons. You want to do a road trip up to D.C. and watch a Nats game? All right, yeah, let's do it. Parents got the timeshare up there in Old Town. Thought about taking the train, looked that up. That was still going to be it's not outrageous, but it's going to be like $200 round trip for the 4 of us to go up
just
there.
about $40 a head.
Yeah, so it's like that's not hateful, but it's still like, or I could just buy some gas and drive up there. I mean, the place we go, the timeshare has parking, and it's right by the metro station. So once we got there, we weren't going to drive anywhere else anyway. We leave at 9:00 Saturday morning. I mean, what would you say to get? How long should it take to get from here to Old Town?
2 hours 15 minutes.
Is that best case scenario?
Yes, best case scenario.
No.
I swear I've done it.
Old Town's directly off of 395. You should get there in 2 hours flat.
I've done it in less than 2 hours, I know.
In the middle of the night, yes.
It took us 3 hours to get up there.
But that's any given moment in Northern Virginia, right?
Yeah, it was a nightmare. So that sucked. But it was like, okay, that's fine. So then we're gonna use the metro to get around because there's a metro station right there, literally across the street from where we're staying. So we get on the metro, we go to the metro. How do people ride on that thing on a daily basis and live their life? Do you know anyone who does this? Because
my dad for 20 years.
it is a hit or miss fucking thing. Every time you go, You never know when a train's going to show up.
It's pretty consistent from what I've seen.
Every
No.
7 minutes during rush hour.
No.
During rush hour.
Well, then the weekend is just fly by the seat of your pants.
Weekend's more of a crapshoot because they do something. They have like the rush hour system that they run, and then they have the off
Is
hours.
it consistent?
There's always anomalies, but I mean they try. But I mean, yeah, no, it's not.
Because it was a nightmare, dude. Like, it took us, for us to get anywhere, it took forever. Like, we would show up and wait 15, 20 minutes for a train to show up, and then you get on it, and then they'd stop. They'd be like, oh, there's 2 other trains at the next station. We got to wait for them to clear.
Yeah,
there's
you were having a bad day.
There's
then, 'cause
construction up here. We got to wait for that to clear. Like, it was a nightmare. So then we took the train into the mall. We went to, which was packed. We went to the Natural History Museum, slam packed. Bought a sandwich, some crackers and cheese, and something else. That was $40. That was pretty sweet.
Sounds
Get
like
back-
a great trip.
Get back on the train. It took like an hour and a half to get from the place, from our timeshare to the mall. Took us an hour and a half to come back, rest up before we went back out. Took another hour and a half to get back out to Nationals Park.
But that is what people do up there.
I mean, it is insane. That's like no, it's not far at all. And if it was like a consistent,
The craziest part about it to me, and I've said this many times, is how numb everyone up there is to it.
completely numb to it.
Completely.
yeah,
I have friends that have moved out to Ashburn, which when I was growing up in Northern Virginia, if I like got in a fight with my girlfriend, I would jump on Route 7 and drive east or west and just enjoy
Clear
the
your head.
countryside to clear my head.
Yeah.
That would be like, that was my move. Now you can't do that.
because so
And
many people out there.
so many people live out there and they tell themselves, I live in DC Metro. If you live in DC Metro, then I live in DC Metro in Richmond.
Yeah,
Because I'm 2 hours from the center of DC. Like, I get to a Caps game in 2 hours if I want to.
yeah.
Well, that's the same thing the people in Ashburn are doing, yet they somehow believe they live in DC. I don't buy it.
I've talked to dudes that work at Mason who said they live an hour and a half out and they drive, hour and a half to work every day.
Yeah.
Well, to Ely's point, you get completely numb to it.
And
I
we
used
have
to-
the thing going for us where we left. So when I go back, I get furious because I'm
Yes.
used to this life down here where it doesn't exist. And I
But
get
now
up there.
you can live 40 minutes outside of the city here
Yeah.
and think to yourself, I live close to the city because 40 minutes is nothing.
For
Well,
sure.
and you can get there in 40 minutes unless there's
Exactly.
some weird anomaly. Like,
Yes.
my whole thing was this weekend, I was like, how do people go to work every day? How do you make plans and go anywhere? Because you
can't.
You would
You
either
screw
have
it
to
up.
be a half hour early to everything or a half hour late to everything.
And it's
Like,
super difficult to make meetings in D.C. and around that area.
It was
Yeah,
insane.
I lived a few miles from my work. When I first graduated college, I moved to a part of Northern Virginia called Centerville, which is it's not in the city, but by today's standards of what Northern Virginia is, it's actually a suburb now. Like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's pretty close. And I used to work in Reston, so anyone who knows that area, Centerville to Reston is nothing. You go straight down 28.
280, yeah.
It's nothing. It would take me between 45 minutes and an hour and 20 minutes, and I never knew which way it was going to break. And so I was either always early to work or late for work, but never on time for work. And I would get reprimanded by my boss, so I'd start leaving earlier and earlier, and it didn't affect it. And I finally got to the point where I was like, I'm the late guy.
Yeah.
I'm
And
never the
here's
late
here's
guy.
the other thing that really fires me up even more is that there's a bit of rhyme and reason to it where it's like southbound at night, northbound
Yeah.
in the morning, but it's legitimately so bad that there's no – like Saturday is horrible because now everyone's home and out and trying to go somewhere.
Yeah.
So there's no consistent time. There's no pattern to where you're like, oh, this makes sense. You know what I mean? This should be traffic here.
We've
It's
talked about it.
anytime unless I'm to the point now to where I don't go through there unless it's dark.
Yeah.
I go through that, and I'll
I go
up
so
there.
far out of my way.
Me
Well,
too.
we've talked about here, like, you drive around Midlothian and on a Tuesday afternoon, it's slammed. Like,
Yeah.
there doesn't seem like – it used to be 15 years ago, it used to be, oh, it's work time. Nobody's out and about. Like, it's –
Must be the lunch break.
It's 20% of what normally would be out. No, it's still packed everywhere. And if it's like that up there, it's only worse. I mean –
It wore me down.
In the defense of the metro system, it's cheap as shit. I mean, it's
Oh, yeah.
hella cheap,
it's
which
a
is
beautiful.
awesome.
It's actually, I think it's a pretty good
So
system.
like we left at the as soon as the bottom of the seventh inning was over, we left, and so did a lot of people. But most people stayed for the game. So we get on the first train. You got to take the green line up, transfer at La Font or however the hell you say it.
L'Enfant Plaza.
You which I heard 800 people say it 900 different ways.
well,
while I was up
you
there.
say it like the Metro guy says it.
By the way, I couldn't understand one thing they would tell us. Like it'd be like, I'm like, I have no idea what you're saying.
That's always it. Next up.
So we get off, and then the train's not coming. The yellow train's not coming. Then another green line drops off more Nats fans.
I gotta believe you
four
were
of
an
those
anomaly.
trains just dropped off, kept dropping off. I'm like, there's a game. You've got to be able to redirect somebody. Like, there's got to be a way to fix this. We waited like 20 minutes for the first yellow line to come by.
But in the Metro's defense, it's actually pretty efficient for the most part. Game nights, you have to know where the Metro stop is closer to where you're going, further away. So walk. Because you need to get away from the crowds, because what'll happen is
But you still
two or
don't
three
to the same
trains.
place.
Yeah, but if you can or go the opposite direction and get on before everybody, going back towards it.
Well, we left an hour early hoping to get ahead of everyone, and we didn't. It's crazy. It took us
yeah, it's brutal.
I mean, it took us an hour and a half to get from Old Town to the mall and Old Town to the game, like both ways. And it's like
which is crazy because you can see the monument from Old Town.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just
We like
it's not great.
We like added it up. Like we were there like we got there like noon and left it. We left at like 9 in the morning, got home at like 4 in the afternoon on Sunday. And we ended up like we had spent almost half of our time in transit.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
It's
I mean,
insane.
I can't argue with you.
And we did a lot of fun stuff, and the kids had a good time. I mean, it was just maddening trying to get from point A to point B. I mean, it's just in the crowds. The older I get, the less I hate the less I like the crowds.
Yeah.
I took a substantial pay cut to move out of there because I
Rightfully
realized
so.
that it just wasn't. It wasn't in my best interest anymore because I was pissed off and frustrated every morning and then every afternoon.
It's just maddening to know you're directly across from a metro stop, and it still is a nightmare.
And I think it's you that said that people, it might have been you. I've been thinking about this for a long time, but it's like people up there live to work, and down here people work to live.
Yeah.
It's very different, and you see that.
It
Even when
absolutely is.
And when you were in the dating scene, I always remembered girls be like, "What do you do for a living?" And then I would like visit my friends down here, and the girls would be like, "You're funny." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Whoa, well, you noticed that? Like, cool, let's talk." In my
Right.
torn jeans and like ripped
Yeah, but I
t-shirt.
mean, up there, it's a whole other scene. I mean,
It is, and look, more power to the people that can keep it going. I just wasn't one of them. I actually was standing in my yard this weekend, not knowing we were going to talk about this, and I was thinking to myself, I don't know that I ever would have had a yard like this had I stayed. Even if
not at all.
on the trajectory I was making more. I probably would be making more, but
The cost of living's way more.
it just didn't make
Yeah,
sense. to me.
townhouses are
Yeah.
$200,000 more than this house.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just
I mean,
wore me
and like
thin.
where we stay in Old Town's beautiful. It actually reminds me a lot of Richmond.
Yeah.
And we walked down to the water, and we took the trolley around, and as we were driving out, we circled through the neighborhoods, and we're looking at these like, townhomes. And we're like, that's a $500,000 home.
Oh, you've lost your mind.
Yeah,
Old
it's
Town,
way more than that.
$500,000? No, that's the apartment on top of the townhouse. $500,000.
yeah.
Like it's
It's
those,
crazy.
Those places are expensive.
Yeah.
I actually took an outside sales job in Old Town just so I could spend time there because I liked it there so much. That's probably my favorite part of
Yeah, I
Northern
agree.
Virginia. Like in D.C. is its own thing, but if you just look at Northern Virginia, Old Town's it.
Yeah.
That's the spot. I actually took my wife on our first date there.
It's
Tried
just a
to
shame
impress her.
because we were driving back, so my car, I reset my wife's car. I was driving my wife's car. I reset the little
Trip meter.
yeah, and it like measures like average miles per hour. So driving up there and then driving back, I averaged like 38 miles an hour the whole time. And it's
Wow.
like
Sounds about
and that's
right.
literally we drove there on the interstate, got off, parked, and then drove home on the interstate. Of course, we had to get off on Route 1 from some time. But like to think you drove 38 miles an hour the entire way there and back is just insanity. And like you said, people are numb to it. Like people just go about their day. And then, of course, that's not even the worst place in the U.S.,
Yeah.
Like,
No.
I can't imagine living
Like
a
go
life
to L.A.
like that.
or something.
Yeah.
At least there you get great weather.
What I was getting to, the wife and I on the way home were like, this is why we don't come up here. We have a timeshare. It's a gorgeous timeshare, and it's in Old Town, and we love that part of town, but it's not worth going up there. Unless you go there, you park your ass in Old Town and just go to the bars and restaurants and stuff in Old Town and do the Old Town thing.
And like you said, on weekends, you never know.
Yeah.
I've had times where I can get up to my parents' house in 2 hours, and I have other days where it's like 3.5. And I'm like, how could I possibly have known
I
that?
know I've been up there in like hour and 40 minutes, like rolling, like just no traffic, just cruising, 80 miles an hour. And next thing you know, you're up there. It's like, it's maddening. And then you're just thinking like, where else could I be if I'd driven 3 hours? Oh, I could have been at the beach. I could have been at a lot of better places than.
But people up there will tell you though, there's more going on. And on the weekends, it is more fun. Like you get downtown, there's better concerts. Obviously, there's sports. I mean, there's always things happening. So I get why people are there. Plus, it's the excitement of being in the city. I mean, D.C. is a badass city.
Yeah,
it really
I do love
is.
D.C.
It's just everything around it. The sprawl is just not. It's not worth it because
Just there's
I
so
can
many
go to
people.
Applebee's anywhere.
Yeah. Well, it was funny. We were walking down Old Town, and we hadn't been there in a while, and it's kind of turned that King Street corridor. It looks like
It's pretty high end now.
yeah. Well, what it looks like you took Short Pump Town Center and straightened it out because we're like, oh, White House Black Market, that's a Short Pump. Oh, Starbucks. There's like it was a bunch of stores and restaurants that are in these nice upscale outdoor malls now. But of course, there's tons of private stuff that's been there for 30, 40 years, which is cool too. But
Stuff that's been there for 200.
Well, yeah.
There's some real old stuff. Yeah, no, it's awesome.
It'll
there.
be a while before we go back up there. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
I avoid it like the plague. And it
Yeah.
stinks because Jacob's grandma's there, my dad's there, my
folks
whole
are still
family's
there. Yeah.
So I gotta.
Well, like you
go.
said too, it's like the sprawl, like it's coming down. Like you hit it at Kings Dominion. You hit it in Caroline counties when it starts to back up. I mean,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
In the next 20, 30 years, it'll just be Ashland will bleed into Fredericksburg, and then Fredericksburg will.
all be one and the same.
Yeah.
Then I'll have to move to I don't know what's that? It's a crappy town on the. I'm trying to think of the place where Ric Flair has every speeding ticket you get on the way down 95.
Oh, Emporia
There's the one.
Oh, yeah.
on the border.
I'd have to move down to Emporia
Yeah,
Go
good
to-
times.
and hang out at the faux show. That's the
Fredericksburg's
only
blowing
sports
up.
bar I know of.
Yeah, Fredericksburg's crazy.
Yeah.
Which I don't see the point in that little town either, but it's coming because it's
It's
down.
DC Light is all. I mean, it's
It's just
it's all
everybody in
transplants.
DC is just
yeah.
like most of the people. Well, a lot of the people that I grew up with up north farther have just all moved that down there.
Well, that's why I'd like to buy land on Lake Anna, but that is like the dopest, lake up
Prime
near
real
there.
estate,
Yeah.
yeah.
And because it's all Nova money, it keeps the land so high. Like you go down to Bugs Island or Gaston or something, and you can get something for a third of the price.
Yeah.
We may not have to worry about it at all. And eventually, we're all just going to get wiped out, right?
Yeah. For
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
There was a meteor strike.
Strike. Like the aliens shot them at us.
Oh, I don't know. I just thought that was the word you used when there was an impact.
Oh, I thought you meant like they were on strike, like they were pickets.
I thought you meant like someone shot them at us.
Okay,
A
so
meteor strike.
apparently it's a homonym. I see that now. 'Cause I just saw
Hell
a lot
no,
of
we
a
won't
lot
go.
of different a lot of different interpretations of that word. A meteor hit the earth.
Impact.
This past week we had a meteor hit. Like
Where?
Y'all seen that meme that says, "I can't believe the meteors keep hitting where there's craters already."
what are the odds? No, so this thing hit.
The guy with the controller's doing a good job.
Yeah.
We had one hit 34 kilometers. It was in Greenland, so it's kilometers.
I was like, here we go with this Italian fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's how I roll. Scoozy. No, we had a meteor strike. 34
A
kilometers.
fucking meteor strike. You're making it sound like they're dropping bombs on us. Who is striking meteors at us?
Damn it. They're not on strike.
It's like a missile strike.
Well, yes, but it kind of was in this context. So this damn thing hit, was either 34 or 43 kilometers from one of our air bases that is designed for missile strikes, like to be our an early warning detection system.
Yeah.
One of our locations was like 30 miles from where a meteor hit, and we never even picked up
Kilometers?
on it.
Really?
When it came through, we never brought it up. We never put our missiles on alert as something was coming through the atmosphere, and it hit.
But is
with-
that because our defense is set more? We're not aiming up.
It's
we're
pointing
aiming
to the right
yeah.
now. Yeah.
We're
it
looking
should
for.
be, I would like to think that we're picking up on anything that's flying through the air, right?
No, because you're not looking for anything above the atmosphere. You're
Is
looking
it the
for
missile defense system, or is it like looking for in other words, is it looking for Russia and asteroids, or is it just looking for asteroids?
No, it's missile defense. So it's
Okay,
one of
so
our.
it's pointed to the right, looking at
yeah.
Russia right now.
It shouldn't be looking everywhere. I mean, it's a valid point. If you know more about
no,
this than
I
I
have
do.
no idea. I'm just saying
I'm just disturbed.
resources are limited. I would
I'm
imagine.
disturbed that anything within 100 kilometers of this thing, we'll say 100 miles of this place, it should be picked up
How
on.
big was it?
When it hit the Earth, when it impact, 2.1 kilotons of impact. So I did
Jeez.
I did a little research to try to figure out what that means, because that means
Nothing.
literally nothing.
Sounds
to
a
me.
lot.
Yeah.
All right. So I saw something like Hiroshima was like 11 kilotons. Is that 13? It was right around there. So I was thinking, okay, so it's not that much. So then I looked at what the Moab is. Remember that bomb that
Mother of all bombs.
we dropped over there because we said it was the most powerful bomb we have that's not nuclear?
Yeah.
That is 0.011 kilotons.
How much was the bomb that Doug Masters dropped when he saved his dad in Iron Eagle?
Ooh.
0.0001.
I don't know.
know
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Probably
no.
probably one.
Either way, this thing.
I can't
If
think
you
of the
have
name of that
if
thing
you
now.
have an asteroid large enough to come through our atmosphere right by an early warning detection location,
So what is your guess at the size? Got to be the size of what, a car?
I don't know. I mean, how big does something have to be at 2.1 kilotons of impact?
Good question.
I mean, it's got to be the size of a house, I would think.
the Hades
No.
bomb. That's what Doug dropped. The Hades bomb.
You don't think it would be that big?
No.
So you're thinking more car sized.
I am, yes.
I don't know. It's got to have a lot of mass.
That's what I'm saying. To be that powerful, it's
Yeah,
it's
it's
light
going
years
thousands
more
of miles an hour.
powerful
It's all good.
than a Moab.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so that's the other thing, right? It burns up
What was
at a
the shot out
tremendous
of?
rate.
Since it was a strike.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
At least that big circus cannon, the long one with the guy
Yeah.
falls with a net.
Duh.
The
He
aliens
the
had.
net.
He missed the net.
But you got to imagine how large that
Tell
must
my
have been when it came
great-great-grandfather died.
into the atmosphere to still have enough
Yeah, it was
size
Right.
that when it hit the Earth, 2.1 kilotons.
it was
we,
house size and it hit his car size.
We didn't even notice it.
That's crazy.
Like, it didn't even come up.
I mean,
And
we noticed it once it hit.
only because
Somebody
it
was
hit.
like, "Oh, that shit's hitting Greenland. We're good."
But so the U.S. Air Force, we never even brought it up. We were like, oh, shit. Like, after it hit, we were like, all right. And then everyone else kept bringing it up. Like, there was a huge seismic event that occurred in Greenland. What the hell? And only then were we like, well, I mean, it might have been that asteroid we missed.
Oh, I just got the military's answer.
What was the Air Force like?
There's nothing to see here.
Yeah, that's essentially it.
I just pulled up what their response was. But did you die though?
Exactly. Then shut it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's a valid point that we're missing those
You know,
things.
somebody's like, we do missiles, right?
Yeah.
Do you see asteroids written on the front of this door?
Right.
No.
Yep.
You
So-
better up my pay grade.
If the Moab bomb is the largest bomb we have, and it's 0.011, that's not nuclear.
It's like a little kid that won't pick up the trash. He's like, "Ain't my trash."
That's right.
Could you imagine if that asteroid had hit New York City? The amount, because the Moab bomb would take out many city blocks.
Yeah.
That thing would have been devastating.
Right.
I mean, thank God it hit Greenland. There's
That
like,
shit happens. I mean, it's gonna happen. I was listening to a podcast a few weeks ago. We were talking about the mom who got the spidey sense about the cougar. Like, how often does shit like that happen that we don't know about?
yeah.
And we know about that one, but how often does shit happen like that we don't know about?
Yeah, a lot.
I guess I'm just saying, how strong is our early detection system? If we didn't even We didn't even have time to raise
I'd
up.
say it's pretty strong. I would imagine.
I would say it's strong because I think it's totally. I think it's a different
because
thing.
we're trained on the areas we think the missiles are coming from.
I
More
think it's because
importantly-
we don't care as much about Greenland.
Yeah, but we have a station there.
Yeah, but that I'm sure if it was heading towards fucking Manhattan, there would be much more.
Yes.
I would like to think. So this guy did not get the promotion he was waiting for at the Greenland outpost. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but that would be a pretty cool outpost, though. If you're stationed in the military,
He didn't
You
do
got
his
the Greenland
job.
Station. Well, I'm not worried about him, but
Or
I'm just saying
she.
in general.
That'll be equal opportunity. Smack these people around.
Yeah,
They all sucked.
for sure.
I was just blown away by that.
I'm surprised you don't hear about it.
Of course not.
I think the only reason I hear about that stuff is
There's
because
sleuth reporters out there.
We're worried about,
my Google feed knows what I care about, though. So it's like,
we're about
It's like, hey,
Stormy
by the way-
Daniels and what Trump's tweeting and shit like that. Not
Yeah.
the
Life shattering thing.
yeah, not things where
like, how
could have
hard
wiped
would-
out a whole freaking country.
Yeah.
like how hard would Stormy Daniels have to hit the ground? It'd be 2.1 kilotons of impact. You'd have to really. That'd be a hell of a Stormy Daniels.
What
strike.
kind of tweet would Trump have to send out?
Next Monday, Brock Lesnar, Stormy Daniels.
Yes,
Let's find out.
only 1.1 kilotons when he slammed her into the ground.
Yeah.
I think Trump's tweets after that would actually probably be a lot more mild. He wouldn't have as much to fight about. He'd have to go find LeBron.
Probably. Speaking,
Sorry, I'm taking it down a road. I shouldn't. try to be smart about that. My
dude,
bad.
speaking of kids, you just mentioned. I totally forgot about this story. We were standing in line because, of course, there was a line to get into the Natural History Museum.
What? Lines.
And, yeah. In D.C., can you imagine? And, I pull out my wallet because we're getting ready to get up to the metal detector, so I'm, checking, what do I have? And I look down, and there's a
You have a knife?
No, I left my knife.
Smart.
I left my knife at home, which I hated to do. I was telling the wife, I was like, should I take my knife? She's like, you're probably going to have a metal detector. I was like, I get it, but I don't like walking around without something on me that
Yeah.
could protect me. Just so while I go into this museum for 2 hours, I
went to Congress the other day and forgot I had a little pocket knife on me, and it didn't go off. And then after I got through, I was excited, right? Because I'm standing on the other side
Yeah.
with the knife. And then I was like, wait,
Yeah.
they really should have gotten this knife out of my pocket before I
Yeah.
walked into Congress. I mean, fortunately, I'm a sane person and I wasn't doing anything stupid. But I got there and I had that moment of panic as I was waiting in line. I was like, "Are they going through metal detectors? Son of a bitch!" Didn't go off. Yeah.
Not surprising. So anyway, we're standing in line, and I pull out my wallet, and I'm getting my, my ID out and whatever. I'm checking my pockets. I look down, there's a $20 bill. So I'm like, oh damn! I reach out and grab it. Well, about that time, my 6-year-old sees it, and he goes to grab it, and I beat him to it. Well, he is pissed that I got it, and my wife's like, finders keepers. And normally, I would.
It's probably your money.
No, it was not. It was not my money.
Okay.
Normally, in that situation, I'll say, guys, this isn't our money. We need to find out who it is. If I was hanging out here at my pool or, but it's you're in a line. If I were to say, who dropped $20, the 8 assholes in front of me would turn down and be like, that's totally mine. So
Absolutely.
So I was like, look, somebody's just going to be out $20 and I'm going to be up. He was so livid that wasn't his $20. And I could not get it through his little skull that this weekend has cost me hundreds of dollars. And do not worry, you will get that money back.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I brought it up again today. I was like, still mad about
Can
that $20?
I have a churro? No.
Yeah.
No.
I said, you still mad about that $20? He's like, yeah. I was like, you do realize I spent your mom and I spent a few $100s on this weekend. And I mean, I immediately went in there. And the kids were hungry, so we went to the cafe and I spent $40 on $6 worth of food. So I immediately lost that $20. It was
a
never mine.
Medium drink.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And he just could not wrap his head around it. We go to buy the tickets. I go to the park, and I did not want to buy scalp tickets. I just did not feel like.
Not with the kids, but if I'm solo, I scalp tickets.
Well, I didn't want to buy 4 scalp tickets and get
because you could get burnt.
Yeah,
for a ticket,
exactly.
but if it's one ticket, I'm like, I'll take the gamble.
Yeah. So I went up to the line, got a discount, got a deal, got tickets. They were only $35 a pop. Not too bad, right?
Yeah.
It's $140. Like, congrats. I'm at
No, but let's
$140.
get. Can I have my $20?
Yeah, exactly.
Son of a bitch.
So, of course, my oldest son's like, holy cow, that's expensive. Like, he's totally clicking on it. And my younger son's like, yeah, but what about my $20? Like, you little shit. You unappreciative little shit.
I get that. And that does blow my mind. It's like, do we want to start playing that game?
Well,
we're going to start adding up.
Today,
That's your first cup of milk.
Yeah.
That's 50 cents.
Today, I told him, I said, well, if you're so worried about it, I said, he's got like $100 and some in cash in his piggy bank. I was like, we can do this. Next time we go somewhere, you buy you, and I'll do me and mom and
Your brother.
And your brother. And he goes, why him? That's not fair. I go, he's not complaining.
Right.
He fully gets it.
Right.
This kid got a whole econ lesson and got screwed because he just happened to go after $20 bill. Troy's like, nah, screw you.
Right.
Now you get the nosebleed seats, kid. You blew it.
Exactly.
Try to teach these kids young, but I mean, I get it. It's hard for them to grasp. But
Or you can have it. Oh, you got to pay for this ticket. It's $35. You owe me $15 when you get
You owe
here.
me $15 more.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we should have. We give it to him and be like, all right, cool. Next thing you want to do is on you. You buy 3 tickets to the game, walk in, he's standing outside the gates.
about once a week, I'll drop it on them. We'll go buy dinner, and I'll be like, "Did y'all bring your money?" And they're like, "No." I'm like, "Who's paying for this?" They're like, "You and mom." I was like, "Why do we got to pay again?"
All the time.
Try to keep them in check. They don't get it.
It's
First
tough,
world
man.
problems.
You know what costs nothing?
What?
Inside the Pallet House.
God, what a deal!
That's the best deal
It's
going.
the best deal going for sure.
Honestly, we should be charging $20 for this.
Send in your
Probably
$20
not.
bills.
It's probably not worth $20.
No,
But it's somewhere.
it's not worth zero. It has a value.
I would think so.
If you get joy out of it.
Is that about right?
And who doesn't?
Right.
Fiona Face.
She's the worst.
I stand by her, man. She hates us, but I like her. I respect her more and more
Yeah.
as it goes on. I haven't seen a whole lot of new reviews pop up.
No, we need to get more reviews, and we need to get more Cincinnati swaps.
More Cincinnati
Ooh,
swaps. That's
so
probably the key.
We
Oh,
did
you
two
got
of
one?
those.
Nice.
Angela got one, and I got one this weekend.
See, that's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear, man. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Dude, I was picking up the deli, leaving Kroger. This girl I know goes to our pool. She pulled up with her kids. She's like, shouldn't you be at the pool? I was like, the wife and kids are there. I was like, I got to go do my podcast. She's like, you do a podcast? How did I not know that?
Grab her phone.
She's like, me and my husband, all we do is listen to podcasts. I was like, yeah, I've been doing it for 3 years now. She's like, what's it called? I was like, look at the sticker on the back of the car I'm staying next to. ITPH, right here.
Look on your podcast app from the last time you were at the house drinking.
Yeah.
You're already
yeah.
a fan.
So go out there and spread the word.
I do like the Cincinnati swaps. I'd love to see more of them. If you haven't done it, please do. Grab someone's phone.
And let us know when you do it.
Yeah, seriously. Shoot us a note. Let us know. Because then we'll give you a
Give
little
you a holler.
We'll give you a shout out. Also, if you have a topic, you know where to send them. It's insidethepallethouse@gmail.com, or you can always hit us up on Facebook at the Inside the Pallet House page, or you can always find me over at River City Miatas. Shoot a note over there. Or you can,
Or on the side of a back road between here and Powhatan.
just find a country road that looked windy. You'll see me disappointed on the side of the road. Or you can always reach out to us on Instagram or Twitter at ITPH Podcast. We certainly do appreciate you guys reaching out and hanging out. I hung out with a buddy this weekend who's friends with one of our listeners, Lance. We sent a picture out to him. Hope you're doing well.
Oh,
man.
yeah. We haven't heard from Mole Lance lately. Hope he's all right.
Haven't heard from him. Boo Boo Mysterio has been in the distance, too. I'm waiting for
Yeah,
him to
where the
come
hell's
back.
he at?
Lord's got to wonder, man. Must be an interesting summer for my man.
And shout out to Andy.
We'll talk about that another week. But
Yeah.
welcome aboard, Andy.
Welcome to the club.
We'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.
Cheers. That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?
been watching birds a lot recently,